In this video, we're finally going to start working in 3ds Max, and we're going to bring in the drafting geometry that we created in AutoCAD. Now we're going to go to Import, and we're going to import that CAD file that we called Contours and Buildings. Select the layers that you want. In Geometry, go to meters, if that is the scale that you created the file in. And once everything is okay, import it in. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to separate the site outline, and I want to create a separate object from the splines for the ocean. To do that, I need to find this point over here, and I need to create a box around it. I can either go back into AutoCAD and I can do all these changes, or I can just do them in 3ds Max. Just for the sake of spending more time in 3ds Max than AutoCAD, I'm going to do those changes here. Now I can go into my helpers, create a point, and then I can move that point by just right-clicking on the X and Y values to the 0, 0 point. I know that that is the corner of my box where my texture is going to come in later. So what I want to do then is I want to create a rectangle, and I want to snap that onto that point. So now I've created my square. As you'll notice, this square is exactly the same size as the original file that we created in Photoshop. The point of that is that all our textures and everything are going to line up according to this. Now, the next part is we want to go and split this up so that we have a single outline for the ocean and a single outline for the land. We can go to Convert Editable Spline, and we're just going to refine this. I'm just did select all, and I converted all the vertices to corners so that I don't get any odd angles. And then I'm just going to select the outer edges that I don't want, and I'm just going to divide them to split them apart. I'm going to detach that. Great, so now on this spline, which we created for the contours, it's all on one layer. I'm going to select the outer edge, make sure that's all one continuous line, and I'm going to detach that as well. So what I have now is I have the outer line here. Let me just make this a different color so we can see better. So now that it's detached from the rest of the contours, we need to split it in the same way. We already have one outline for the land, but we still need to extract this outline for the ocean, which we're going to add to that outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that line and press Ctrl V for copy, and I'm going to make a copy of it. Then I'm going to delete these outlines. I'm going to select this and isolate. I'm going to attach that, and then just make sure that all of the corners are welded. Right, so now we have a single outline for the entire ocean and a single outline that we still need to, yeah, it is connected to that whole outline over there. So we have those two objects. Now, next we need to take our contour lines and we need to extract all of the physical lines from the numbers. We could have, of course, in AutoCAD created two different layers, and we should have, but I'm just going to show you how to extract it from here, just in case it happens to you. So I select those outlines. It's relatively quick because I made sure that when I created the outlines that they are all single continuous lines, so there's no need to weld any vertices or edit anything in Max, which I really like. I prefer doing as much work as I can in AutoCAD, and then only bringing into Max what I absolutely need, and then I work with that directly. Right, so if you are sure that you've selected everything, which I hope we have, then you can detach that. Go further down the list. And if you extract that just to make sure, then you can just re-inspect and just make sure that you haven't accidentally left in any numbers. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to delete these side parts because we don't really need them. Just going to press delete. And the same thing here. Once we have that ready, we are ready to start lifting up each of these contours into their correct heights. So to do that, I'm going to go back into my main model. And we start by selecting the one, anyone really, the one on the top. Click W. And then in the Z value, you can just type 220. And you can then go through the entire list. 200, 180. Right, once you've done with that, you're going to have all the contours in the correct heights. I'm going to skip forward until we have all of this done. Leave that for the next video, and we're going to pick up where we left off here with all of those contour lines in their correct vertical position as we've just shown you here. So just to sum up before we go, what we've done is we've imported in our contours and our building lines. We've recreated our main outline, which will frame our entire site mesh and our site model. And we've started to move up these lines, which we're going to fast forward to in the next video.